welcome to Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja. Well, this is a show that focuses on providing you with solutions to your health-related issues, lifestyle and much more. Well, viewers, audiologists are concerned with the identification, measurement and study of hearing and hearing impairments and with the treatment of persons with hearing disorders. So viewers, today in studio I am joined by none other than Padmashree Dr. Mohan Kameshwaram from Chennai, who is an internationally acclaimed cochlear implant surgeon. And he is also the founder of MERF Institute of Speech and Hearing, a Chennai-based institution which provides advanced training in audiology and speech-language pathology. So not to waste any more time, I'm just going straight away to him and continue my discussions on audiology. So, Doctor, once again, welcome to our show.
Thank
and
you.
It's a privilege again to have you in our show once again.
My pleasure.
So, Doctor, today, last episode, we had a discussion on speech disorder. So, this time we have taken up the topic audiology.
Yeah.
So, according to you, what is the job of an audiologist?
Audiology, Pooja, is a science which deals with hearing.
Yeah.
And otology is the other side of the coin. It's a medical science which deals with diseases or disorders of hearing.
Okay,
so
so
two
there are
of
two
them,
terms.
there are
Okay.
two terms. So the two of them are two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
So audiologists are people who are concerned with the study of hearing, normal as well as abnormal. And otologists are the surgeons who study hearing and deal with disorders of hearing. And the two of them work in tandem, they work together and they are a team who are responsible for maintaining good health in hearing.
So the patients which come up with you of hearing problem, so what kind of first diagnosis process do you do, the basic diagnosis process you do with the patient?
See, this is an extremely important field because the commonest congenital anomaly, one of the commonest congenital anomalies that we face in real life is deafness. A lot of people will be quite surprised. In fact, the only other problem which is as common, I would say, is Down syndrome. And this is almost the same kind of prevalence. So, 1 out of every 1,000 children born anywhere in the world is profoundly deaf.
Okay.
And in parts of India, it's double the figure, it's about 2 out of 1,000.
Is it?
In some parts of India, like the state I come from, Tamil Nadu, it is 6 times. 6 out of 1,000 children are born deaf. And the only reason that happens is because of consanguinity or marriage amongst cousins, which is a very evil practice which happens in parts of South India. So, because of that, genetic disorders abound, they aggregate. So, deafness is a terrible tragedy because deafness at birth means that you also don't develop language, because unless you hear, you cannot develop language, you cannot speak. So, the deaf child, if unattended to, also becomes a dumb child. So, deaf and dumb is 2 cruel words, they go together. And this is a disaster because of all the handicaps, this is the only handicap which is completely silent. Silent in more ways than one, because nobody can actually identify that this person is deaf. He looks just like you and me.
Yeah, right.
But if you're blind, people know you're blind. If you're physically challenged, people know you're
Some actions show you that.
Yeah, the way you look at it, you know that this man is not.
Right, very true.
But deaf person just looks like you and me. When you talk to him, he will not answer. He just gives you a very silly grin, and then people often mistake them for either being very arrogant people or stupid. Nobody will say this man is hearing impaired, therefore he is not answering me. You see, so it doesn't elicit sympathy. On the other hand, it elicits a lot of irritation, contempt, ridicule. That's the kind of reaction people get. So it's a terrible tragedy. It's a terrible handicap because it's the one handicap which does not elicit sympathy.
And which lead to a low esteem of that person.
Of the same person. So it's a terrible, but the only silver lining in the cloud today is that all deafness, no matter what, is curable.
Oh.
And that's, I'm saying it with a lot of joy inside me, but I'm also very emphatic about it. It's curable, but there is a clause, there is a but.
Okay.
provided we catch them at the right age. And what's the right age for a congenitally profoundly deaf child who's born deaf? The best age is below 3.
Below 3.
So you have to catch them young and involve and you know, get them, you know, treated and hearing before they are 3. If you don't do that, then the repercussions are for life.
So deafness in a born child can also be cured, but just you have to know it before the early age of 3.
Absolutely. Okay. See, I can give you any amount of, but you will be surprised to know, Pooja, that you know, in Chennai, for the last 20 years, we've been doing what is known as cochlear implant. A cochlear implant is a medical miracle.
Okay.
You know, it's a device, it's a bionic ear. It's a bionic device which is implanted into a child's ear.
Okay, it's a device.
In a ear. And as children as young as 9 months, 10 months, you know, they go through it. And this replaces the ear. So this picks up signals of sound and then processes it, and then it stimulates the inner ear nerve which connects it to the brain. So the child who is not heard starts hearing.
Okay.
And then hearing, of course, is different from listening. You know, it's how you talk in a crowd of people, you're giving a lecture, half of them are hearing, all of them are listening, but half of them are, you know, all of them are hearing, sorry, but half of them are listening. And the difference, of course, is attention. And this attention is what we have to train the child. So the child has to learn to, you know, get the sounds, but attach meaning to the sounds, and then integrate it in the brain, and then this becomes language.
Okay, so after attaching that device, this kind of process has been done. Okay.
So this child then can be, you know, made to grow into anyone who wants. I have 4 children who have been implanted in my center in Chennai, who are now in Ivy League schools in the US. I have a kid from southern Tamil Nadu who's in Harvard. You know, he speaks 6 languages.
Okay.
So, you know, so to think that this child was profoundly deaf and would have become a dumb child, but today, just because of this technology. So it's nothing short of, I would say, medical magic.
It's really a medical magic, and like the viewers you are just listening, I'm sure that you must be benefited, because doctor had just mentioned it's not impossible, it's possible,
very possible. It's happening every day.
With confidence, he's saying.
And as I'm sitting in Guwahati today, you know, with you, in Guwahati today we had a workshop where 4 children who were born profoundly deaf have got their hearing back in Pratiksha Hospital. Guwahati Medical College has got a program where they are doing. So today, you know, in different parts of Northeast, in Manipur, the program is available. Different parts of the country. I have personally myself trained at least about 40 centers in India, which are now doing cochlear implants. And about 15 centers in Tamil Nadu, you know, which are every medical college in Tamil Nadu.
And actually, we want these kind of awareness
campaigns. We want them. Because when you have a technology and you can change the life of a child from that, see, what is the difference? A child who is born profoundly deaf goes on to become a dumb adult and then becomes handicapped for life and is dependent on society. You intervene at a certain age, and with a very high-end technology, change the life of this child. What happens? This child can tomorrow become a potential Abdul Kalam.
Right.
Right? He can become the president of the country. He may be contributing, you know, medical miracles. He may be a great scientist tomorrow. So this is the potential that is there, and you're unlocking that potential. You know, so I would say this is today every child who is profoundly deaf should have access to hearing.
And actually, it's very important to have these kind of awareness, because we didn't knew that this kind of like new technology has been introduced. So unless and until we go to a hospital or we have been suffering from these kind of diseases, we wouldn't have come to know. So as you are here,
I mean, I'll go a step further, Pooja, you know. In Chennai, there are 45 children who were born without an inner ear, without a nerve of hearing, who have received a chip in their brain stem, in their brain, the hearing part of the brain, and who are hearing.
Okay.
We have 45 kids who are hearing today and developing language and speech, and these are kids who are born without either an inner ear, what we call a cochlea, or a cochlear nerve. So they couldn't get a cochlear implant, but they received what is known as a brain stem implant.
Brain stem. So that is also applicable.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's why I said with confidence that anybody who has got a deafness, no matter how profound it is,
No matter how much age, whatever age
but
is.
you have to intervene at the right age. You have to intervene. That's where the catch is, because the problem is many parents have, they're worried, but they don't know what to do about it. Some neighbor comes and says, "Oh, don't worry, everything will be all right. You go to this,
They get lots of suggestions.
Absolutely,
actually.
Somebody says you try this, you try that. You go to this temple, you go to all the temples, but get the treatment also. That's my point. There's nothing wrong in going in temples, but certainly not at the expense of not getting yourself treated.
Right. So, doctor, these kind of children will have to take much care, because like the normal children who are having a normal hearing impairment, so the ones who have got this kind of chip, the ones who have got this kind of like treatment, so they have to be taken extra care.
Absolutely. For a year,
so what kind of care they have to be taken?
Yes, for a year they go through a process of what we call auditory rehabilitation.
Auditory rehabilitation.
Yeah, this is a very specialized training for the child who is taught to listen.
Okay.
So basically the child was born deaf, has never heard. Now we have given hearing, but then the child is taught to listen, and then to listen and to develop language. So this is a process called auditory rehabilitation, and it goes on for a year. Of course, we have habilitationists, auditory rehabilitationists. Audiologists also are now in that area. It's all very related, but end of the day, this is a very specialized field, but it needs very intense cooperation between the ENT surgeon or the otologist, the audiologist, and habilitationist. They all come together as a team.
Okay.
And give it.
So, doctor, like when these kind of patients come to you, a big challenge is for you ahead of you. Like you have to treat them, you have to make their faces come smiles. So, when they come to you with the good results that, yeah, I'm fine, but my children are like fine now, they can hear properly. So, how happy do you feel yourself, and how successful do you feel that what I'm doing is being successful?
I think this is the happiest thing in my life. I often say, I was once asked to give a talk on what is happiness. And I said, happiness is the realization of one's dream, but also understanding the purpose for one's creation. That everything, the French have a nice term, they call it raison d'être. So everything, every object in this world has got a purpose for existence. So do we, So, but the important thing is we have to understand why, I was created, why am I here? And I understood that I am here because I can give hearing to people.
Everyone has a purpose
and
of
when
life.
you see that and you see the results of it, that's the happiest thing in your life. When I see my cochlear implant children coming, the other day I had one of my cochlear implant kids came with a wedding invitation. He's getting married to another young girl, very sweet girl, and he comes and says, "Sir, I brought my fiance." I said, "Wonderful." This guy is very smart. I mean, he's really going places. So and he says, "Okay, fine." Then he says, "Please, sir, tell her." I said, "Tell her what? Tell her that I'm a handicapped person." That I'm saying. Well, I said, "Well, you tell her yourself." I said, "No, but she doesn't understand." So I said, "Well, look, you understand that he was born deaf, but he has received an implant. He's hearing very well. As you can see, he's a very eloquent speaker, and he's a brilliant guy. Apart from the fact that he's
Indeed,
also
a moment of happiness, actually."
And she said, "Yes, I know." Then I said, "Then what's the problem?" She said, "No, but I keep telling him, but he keeps on saying I'm handicapped, I'm deaf." I said, finally, look, I said, "What's the problem?" Then she said, "Sir, I love him. I want to marry him." Then I said, "Both of you get out of my room. You're wasting my time." I said, "You've heard that love is blind, but love can also be deaf."
So, sir, on that lighter note, last word, what you would like to give a suggestion to the viewers, and as you're here
the
from Chennai.
important thing I think is, no matter what your age, elderly people sometimes feel they've lost a hearing. They feel that, nothing can be done. But believe me, if vision connects you with objects, hearing connects you with people. And as you get older, we may lose hearing, but do not hesitate to contact somebody, a good ENT surgeon, audiologist, check your hearing, correct it, you know, we have so many aids and so many technologies available today that nobody should go with hearing deprivation in the world today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor, once again, giving us like so much of inputs on the audiology and past experiences also we had. So you took out so much of your time and you came down from Chennai, and it was like privilege of having you in our show. So many things to know, but we are just short of time. So thank you so much once again, Doctor, for coming to our show. Thank you so much. So viewers, that was Dr. Mohan Kameshwaram. It was great talking to him because he gave us so much knowledge of audiology, and he also mentioned that if you have any problem, you should have a proper diagnosis so that better treatment can be given to you and you can lead a happy-go-lucky life. So on that note, we have to take a short break, but do come back soon because we have lots more on the other side. Welcome back. You're still watching Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja. And it's time now to move on to a subject which plays a very crucial role in our lives. In order for our bodies to function properly and stay healthy, it is very important that we follow a good nutritious diet. And well, viewers, obesity is defined as an excess proportion of total body fat. Doctors generally agree that more obese a person is, the more likely it is that he or she will have health problems. So if obesity has dropped down your morale and confidence, the proper diet will help you to have a healthy body. And what proper diet you should follow? We have in studio with us our nutrition expert Jupitara Sekhya to discuss as what an individual should be eating. So we will go straight away to Jupitara and ask what an obese person should be following the diet to. Jupitara, once again, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And you will be guiding us for the entire process because the topic which we have taken up is obesity. What diet should be followed if a person is facing obesity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to ask you, what is obesity?
See, obesity is something when we have excess of fat in our body. Like we are taking energy in the form of fats and carbohydrates, but we are not utilizing it. We don't have too much of physical exercise or physical activity.
Right.
It leads to the staying back of the fat in the body. So it leads to obesity. So there might be very different type of like why you get obese.
Okay.
It might be due to thyroid problem, it might be due to your eating habit, it might be due to your work habit. So there are various factors which leads to obesity. And it is
one
very
should find out the proper factor and they should also go for that treatment. Okay.
Like if you're suffering from thyroid, there are restrictions which you need to follow, otherwise a weight decreasing diet won't be following you. So in that case, it's very necessary to know the cause of you getting obese. Only then after you can follow a proper diet.
Okay, so what proper diet one should follow if one has obesity?
See, for a obese person, it's the best to follow a low fat, low cholesterol diet, high in fiber. So if you go for low fat, low cholesterol diet, then avoiding of the deep fried foods like all that samosa, pakora, all that. Then again, you cannot go for all that packaged food which are available nowadays. Like I wouldn't like to name like Maggi, pasta, all that things need to be avoided because it is more or less made of maida. Maida again, it is, as I have said earlier also, it is of simple carbohydrates. So it is not good for health.
Okay.
So all maida items, then bakery items, because bakery items are also made of maida only. So all these items need to be avoided. So you need to add more of fiber into the diet, like you can go for salads, sprouts, fruits, green leafy vegetable, all these things should be given.
And what are the foods that make a people fat, and we should not go for it and we should avoid those kind of foods? We should have to have a healthy life.
The main thing which is common among people nowadays is fast food.
Fast food.
You go every corner and you see fast food stalls and you see people thronging in for that.
Right.
So fast food is the main thing which you need to avoid at the first. Then again, red meat should be avoided, no pork. Then no, all mutton, all that needs to be avoided. Again, fatty oily fish, all that need to be avoided. And if you're taking egg also, the yellow part needs to be avoided because it is cholesterol. Otherwise, egg white is rich in protein, so that can be taken, but yellow should be avoided.
Okay.
Then all like carbonated drinks, it is getting summer now, so Coke, Pepsi, Limca, Fruity, all those need to be avoided. If somebody wants to go for juice, it can be fresh juice, and I would suggest to take the whole fruit because you're getting in fiber with the whole fruit. It will
That is more helpful,
yes,
actually.
that is more helpful.
Okay, okay. So, what kind of timings? Timings we would suggest to have these food in this kind of proper timing. Timing plays a very important role, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
there is nothing like that. You cannot take one item in the evening. You cannot take that in the morning. It's nothing like that. But you know, it has to be. If you're planning a meal, it should have all the nutrients. Like it should have carbohydrate. It should have protein. It should have fats also. Like when you're choosing for fats, you should not go for saturated fats, like which are ghee, butter, cream, cheese, mayonnaise. So again, pizza, burger, all those items should be avoided. Then again, if you the selection should be made more on unsaturated fats, like you know, olive oil, then sunflower oil, soya bean oil, vegetable oil, all those items should be used. And when you can also change the cooking method, you know, like instead of going off deep frying and having the food, you can go for like grilling, you can go for roasting and all. Less oil is used there, so in like that also, you know, a little bit of modification in the diet can be made.
Less oil will be used, and then you can have a proper food item to be having, and you can have your proper and a favorite food also. If we change the style of cooking, isn't it?
It's not necessary to have chicken in the thick gravy form, right? It can be taken in the roasted form also.
Though it is not tasty, but you can make it tasty in the form of cooking.
You know, obesity is something for which you need to forget your taste at a point. So you need to stress more on the food rather than the taste, because taste is just temporary. It is just you'll getting the taste only when the time you're eating the food, but the nutrients which you are getting, it will be working out in the body. So you know, it's to an extent it is necessary to leave the
very necessary. So what would be the proper diet for an obese people? What suggestions
it should be more in fiber, low in carbohydrate, again selection of carbohydrate, less of simple, you know, you cannot strictly cut down simple carbohydrates, but it should be more in complex carbohydrate like oats, muesli, and dalia, all those things should be taken. And when you're choosing fat also, again saturated fat should not be taken. Then high fiber, salads, sprouts, all those green leafy vegetables, all those items should be taken.
And is it a straight no to sweets and chocolates?
Yes, if someone wants to lose the weight very strictly, then it is.
Okay, so once in a while it's fine, but like not every time. So you would also like...
Yeah, if you go once in a while and you say, okay, one more time, that won't work. So you have to be very strict.
So that's important, like you have to have control in yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. That's main. And if somebody is suffering from thyroid, hypothyroidism also leads to obesity. So in that case, you need to avoid some of the vegetables like the cruciferous vegetables, cabbage, cauliflower, soya bean, all these needs to be avoided. So after following that only, the obesity diet will work.
Okay, fine. So as we are talking about the obese people, so they might be also facing some of kind of health issues also, because if you are obesity, you're having obesity, so you must be prone to health issues like diabetes and also of like high pressure. So in that kind of case, like one should have a proper diet. So in that case, what you would like to suggest to them?
Like first, it is very important to identify the cause of being obese.
Very true.
Like if somebody is too prone of having junk food, fast food, refined flour items, then you know all those things should be cut down. Then again, if it is diabetes which is causing your overweight, then a proper diabetic diet has to be followed, whereas sugars have to be cut down. Then again, it should be low in fat, low in cholesterol. Then again, if it is like, you know, it depends on the type of the disease. It's not actually disease, but the type of problem the patient is facing. You know, obesity, like losing weight is not something you'll follow a diet and it will work in 1 month or 2. It is a slow and a gradual process. You need to just stick on the diet which a dietitian has given you, so it will come down.
And obesity problem is also seen in children, also among the children. So what suggestions you will give to the parents out there to have a controlled diet or have a proper diet for the children? Because at a very tender age, if we get used to about the fatty foods and they'll get obesity, so it might create a problem when they are young, isn't it?
And nowadays you see children are more prone towards gadgets. They are more into mobiles. They are more
less
into
physical activities.
So I would request the parents to send their children to play outside, so that some amount of physical activity is going on, because whatever we are just feeding our children with best of best, but we are not giving them any physical outcome. So you know, it's very important to send the children to parks or to enroll in any like swimming. They can go for any other play like that, like you know.
And how can they ask their children not to go for these fried foods or not to have more fast foods, because they won't listen at times and they will also love to have those kind of foods. So what interesting things and interesting food items they can make at home, their parents, to have their children to be used to. They will be glued to their dining table and they'll have that, yeah mama, I want to have this. So what kind of suggestions you would give?
Children are more prone towards junk food. So instead of going for the junk food you're making outside, you can just prepare at home. Like if you go on a restaurant or you will get the, if you suppose I'm giving you a simple example, if you're going for a chicken roll, it would be of maida. So if the same roll could be made at home with whole wheat flour, so it is healthier enough. You can put more of vegetables, you can put beans, you can put carrots along with chicken. So in that ways it can be given. And in case of samosa and all, if you notice they are putting the same oil again and again, you know, it is releasing free radicals and
they repeat the same oil.
And you know, trans fats are generated. So in that case, you know, if somebody is wanting to eat samosa and all, they can make at home with the fresh oil. They can make in refined oil and it should be fresh. So that way it can be taken. So you know, all fast food, like it can, parents can also go for mixed fruit salads. They can, children have no much problem because they will be, you know, if you ask them to go and play outside, they'll go and play. So in that case you can give for fruit salads. You can go for, now it's summers are coming, so you can go for like watermelon juice, all that, banana shake,
that
mango
can be
shakes.
included.
Yeah, that can be given because they are, that is nutritious also, and otherwise children do not go for fruits. So if you give in the shake form or like juice form, they would be taking.
And what kind of tiffin they can pack for their children when they are out for their school? What kind of like interesting items they can pack? Like, is there anything like maybe they can pack some fruits, some edible items? So what more suggestions you will give to them?
Like when tiffin is being packed, see, one item has to be of the child's favorite, otherwise he'll not complete the food. So if roti or something of that type is given, I would suggest to give some of sprouts. You can put some amount of sprouts in there, or you can give salads, or like fruits can be given in the tiffin along with whatever item is given, so that the children get the nutrition what is required, and the fiber intake is also good.
In that way they can have a healthy life as well. Okay, so if we talk about the office goers and office goers people, sometimes what happens when we are working in a corporate world, so we have like the work, sitting work, and we don't have to move around, so physical activity is less. So in that case, if someone is suffering from obesity, so in that case it might get 10 and they might be eating lots of things like from fries to like outside items. So in that case, how can a person can have a physical activity being at office itself?
See, in office environment, it is not important. It's not like feasible to go to a, you cannot just start doing exercise in your office time. So I would suggest to go exercising or gymming in the morning or in the evening after work, because you know, health is important after all. Work would be going on time, but health is also important, because the obese person will at a time feel lethargic, he won't be feeling fresh, he won't feel like working. So exercise should be done in the morning or maybe in the evening. The time has to be made out, and it has to be done by self.
It has to be done by ourselves. Actually, it's all, everything, it's upon ourselves. So on last note, Jupiter, what you would like to suggest to the people not to worry about obesity, because it can be controlled, and what diet one can follow?
I would like to say, if a obese person starts a day with a glass of lukewarm water, with honey and lemon juice, and one more thing can be added to that is half spoon of cinnamon powder. So if it is taken on an empty stomach every morning, so it will work. It might be slow, the weight will come down in a slow process, but it will work.
Okay, so thank you, Jupiter, for giving us those valuable inputs. You were here and you were guiding us on the entire process about the obesity and what diet should be followed. And I would like to tell the viewers also, you would have heard Jupiter saying that you must not worry about obesity, because it can be controlled if you have a proper lifestyle and if you have a proper diet in your diet items. So not to worry about that, because proper diet, you will have a healthy life out there and you will get rid of obesity. So on that note, we'll have to take a short break, but do come back soon, because we have lots more on the other side. Well, Well, viewers, Nemcare Hospital, situated at the heart of the city, has been serving its people since 2001. In order to facilitate the common people with super speciality facilities, this hospital has introduced a free OPD on every Sundays. Let's have a look at what the hospital has to offer.
Most often, super speciality hospitals seem to be the comfort of only the rich people. Today, we will talk about a hospital which has brought the facilities of a super speciality hospital closer to the common people. In our last episode, we tried to show how this hospital tries to give the best care for the trauma patients of the region. With the dedicated team of doctors dealing exclusively with the trauma patients 24/7.
After injury, for any operative management, we will bring the patient to the OT complex. We have got a state-of-the-art modular OT, we call it. That OT complex is here. Whenever critical patients comes in the trauma, we have to operate. That we have seen in the OT complexes. After that, the patient will be shifted to the ICU unit. And here, we have got a very modern, well-equipped ICU setup here, which can take care of the complicated patients there in the recovery stage. So as you can make out, it is the patients are lying in the bed, specialized bed, with all the life support facilities, and the paramedicals and medical staffs here will be taking care of them.
Hello viewers, today here we are at Nemcare Hospital, the hospital which has been serving its people, the patients of this region since 2001. And here we are today to know about the special facilities they are providing to those people, those patients who are not that economically sound.
Nemcare Hospital, situated at the heart of the city, has been serving its people since 2001. In order to facilitate the common people with the super specialty facilities, this hospital has introduced a free OPD on every Sundays of the week.
Yes, we do have facility for the common people. So the managing director, Dr. Hitesh Verma, he has started a very good initiative of starting a free OPD service, which we do every Sunday from morning 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Because we have this concept that it's a big hospital, the private hospitals are usually not affordable for super specialty treatment. And Sundays, as you know, you don't get doctors in most of the private hospitals, right? Yes, exactly.
Hospital authorities have also said that not just OPDs, they also take special care of the patients in emergency ward. The patients are first provided the best of the emergency services the hospital has. Later, when the patients are in a better condition, they inquire about their capacity to pay and thereafter take the next necessary care.
Today we are with Dr. Sashiba Burman, who is the head of the emergency department. So doctor, first of all, when there is an emergency case and the patient is is meeting an emergency situation, it is seen that when they are not that economically sound, they always prefer going to ZMCH because they think that other hospitals will not be that helpful to them. In that case, how can Nemcare help those not that economically sound patients?
Okay, right. So whenever we receive any emergency patient or any trauma patient, our goal is to provide the first aid to this patient, right? Because there is a concept of golden hour. The first 60 minutes of following an accident or trauma or any emergency is very important. So what we do here is whenever a patient comes, we immediately give the first aid to the patient, irrespective of whether they are financially sound, economically not sound, right? So once the initial treatment has been provided, then we go ahead with a discussion with the family members if they are affordable for a treatment in Nemcare or in other hospitals. So if they are affordable, we very well admit them because we have two setups over here. One is an Nemcare super specialty hospital and there is an Nemcare hospital. So people can get admitted to the other hospital also because it is the same unit. Or if they are very economically poor, then we make provisions for transfer of these patients from Nemcare to medical college. our emergency is being headed by trained emergency doctors. So I am an MD of Accident and Emergency Medicine, and I'm heading the department. And I have resident doctors who are trained and skilled enough to handle all sort of emergencies, whether you say it's an accident, trauma, or it can be any medical emergencies. We have a 24/7 laboratory services, so we can do any of the lab investigations. And the greatest USP, if you say, in case of trauma, is the requirement of blood. So definitely we have a 24/7 blood bank. Okay. And we have 3 ICUs, a medical ICU to handle all medical cases, a cardiac ICU for any of the cardiac emergencies, as well as 1 trauma ICU. We try our best, the doctors as well as the staffs, to just maintain a very cool temperament and try to talk to them as politely as possible and as empathetic towards them.
The hospital, working at the service of the people since the last 18 years, have also promised a cordial relation with their patients, with the team of doctors and other hospital staff working day and night for their service. With camera person Rupak and Montu, Preeti Priyadarshini for Northeast Live.
And well, viewers, it's time now for some fitness expert air segment, because the benefits of exercise extend far beyond weight management, and regular physical activity can help reduce your risk for several diseases and health conditions and improve your overall quality of life. So here we have our fitness expert Kamal Sinha, who will show us some quick exercises to have a fit body.
Hi everyone, I'm Kamal Sinha, head trainer of Gold Gym Ganeshguri. Today we are going to show you abs workout for your body pump class. So you got few movements, hip bridging and crunches. Okay, hips up and down and single leg hip bridging. With this workout, we can strengthen your glutes, lower back. Okay, so let's start with abs training. Okay, single leg extension. 1 to push, 1 to back. Here we go. 2 to 1 to push, 1 to back. Let's go team, let's start. 1, 2, push, 1, 2, back. Hold the knees bend on 90 and push and pull and extension in knee. Back space. 1 to push. Abs in tight. Feel your abdomen. 1, 2, 2, 1. One more. And 1 leg bend, fashionable move. Hips up, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, down. Try to push the heel and squeeze the glutes as much as you can. We call it single leg hip raising. 1 to push and down. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, down. Try to lift hips up maximum to the ceiling. Ready? 1 more time, single leg extension. 1 to push, let's go. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, back. 1, 2, 2, 1. Make sure you both the legs bend on 90. Okay? 2 and 1. 2, 2, 1 and back. Slow, slow, fast back. Yes, slow, slow, fast back. Ready? Another leg, fashionable move. Hips up, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, down. You got it. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Good training for your lower back, glutes medius. Ready for the pulses. Ball is bend, pulse. Here we go. 3, 2, 1 and down. 3, 2, 1 and down. You can drop your heels on the floor or both the knees bend on 90. Okay, let's go. Push it. 3, 2, 1 and release. Awesome. Make sure you lift your shoulders maximum to the ceiling and tuck your chin in. Alright? Let's go. Keep it up. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and release. Keep it up, guys. Neck soft and relax. Squeeze it. All right. Super slow. 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow down. One more time. Slow, slow, slow. Hold the hands close to hips and hips up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, release. Good one, team. Ready? Up and hold. Isometric and release. Hold. Release. Hold. Nice. Squeeze it loose as much as you can. Tighten contraction your hip muscle. And release. Up and hold. Ready for the pulses. Ready? Come on, pulses. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and release. 3, 2, 1, down. 3, 2, 1, and down. 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin in. Lift the shoulders. Maximum to the ceiling. Keep doing. 3, 2, 1. Few reps to go. Come on. Last. Super slow. Super slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow. One more. Slow, slow, slow. Awesome. Well done, team. Relax. Thank you so much, guys. Well done. And thank you so much, viewers, for watching us. Stay healthy, stay fit. And next episode, we are coming with new workout. Thank you so much.
So gear up, ladies, as the next segment we are bringing to you is sure to going to benefit you to maintain your beauty, as it is the home remedy segment, viewers, and home remedy expert Pahi Sharma will give you these few tips to have a beautiful skin and beautiful hair out there. Take a look.
Hi everyone, I am Pahi Sharma and welcome to this beauty segment. Well, beauty is skin deep, we know that, and I have been saying that. Well, today I have something very special for you, and what is so special about it, because all of us have some problems or the other, and especially when it comes to skin problems, it's a big headache. And especially if you have sensitive skin, it's like, oh my god, what can you apply on your skin? Anything you apply on your skin, it becomes a great problem and it starts itching or it acts in some way or the other. So sensitive skin, if you have that, what all can you apply on your skin and how to get that actually youthful glowing skin with these remedies which I'm going to mention to you right now. Well, why do you have sensitive skin? First, you need to figure out that. Are you using products or chemicals that are way too harsh for your skin or way too, chemically done for your skin? Because our skin is very sensitive and very soft, supple, and if we take good care of it, then the skin will last longer. And along with time, what happens is that the cell regeneration slows down as we grow, a little. As we start aging, the cell generation really slows down. So we need to really take good care of it. Especially, first thing first, we need to drink a lot of water. Second thing, we need to drink green tea, 2 to 3 cups of green tea every day. You'll see that we have that actually glowing skin. And if you do not like green tea, then there are so many other teas which are available, like rosemary tea, jasmine tea, chamomile tea. They definitely has that aromatic smell, and it has that soothing effect to our system. And especially when it soothes you, what happens is that we are stress free, and once you're stress free, you have that really beautiful healthy skin. So sensitive skin, first thing first is oatmeal. Oatmeal is really good for our skin, for especially the sensitive ones, because it removes all the damage from our skin, especially all the damage like UV rays and pollutions. So oatmeal acts as a great exfoliant and acts as a great scrub. So oatmeal, you're having it in your breakfast, why not apply it on your face? So I have oatmeal for you. And then I have something very special which is called Manuka honey, and Manuka honey is from New Zealand. It comes all the way from New Zealand. Sometimes it might be very difficult to get, but this honey is a bit expensive and it's in scarce amount. But I got this online and it has done wonders to me. Why Manuka honey? Because Manuka honey, it helps you, instead of having medicines at night, you can have Manuka honey and you see that your fever has gone away, your cold has gone away. So that's what Manuka honey has done, and it's made in New Zealand, as we can see here. And Manuka honey is 100% raw and it has like KF factor 12, sometimes it has 6. So that's what Manuka honey, it has like a medicinal property. And especially if you have acne or any wounded skin, then you can apply Manuka honey on top of it. And what is Manuka honey actually? So Manuka honey is something, it's a shrub basically. It's a medicinal shrub which is grown in New Zealand, and they have you picked it up and made it into a medicinal plant, and they have made the honey, the liquid form out of it, which is called the Manuka honey. Or it's also called tea tree. So we know tea tree, but Manuka honey is something very new, something very fresh. So yes, Manuka honey has so many properties like antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and today's highlight for this is Manuka honey because you have sensitive skin. So yes, you have sensitive skin, you'll see that once you have applied Manuka honey, your sensitivity has reduced. And try to stay away from all the chemicals or lotions that you've been applying it, and you see definitely proper good results. And then now I have turmeric with me. Turmeric, we eat it in our food and meals, right? So turmeric, we do eat it in our meals and food, and what it does is that, did you know that turmeric had like 16% iron and 26% manganese, magnesium and potassium, so many nutritional values. And also turmeric kills all the germs. It kills all the germs. It is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and especially brides in India, they have like a special rasam, like a special ritual which is called the haldi rasam. And you know what happens is that haldi is like turmeric, and in haldi rasam they actually have that the bride, all the relatives and families apply haldi on their face and hands and hair and legs. Why? Because haldi has that really good property which makes the bride really glow on that main event. And also even the groom, they apply haldi on them. So eventually if you're applying haldi on your face, you get that glow so easy. So what I have is with me today is oatmeal, turmeric and honey. So I am going to take 1 tablespoon of oatmeal. You can actually make a paste, like grind it and make it into powder form, and you can actually take 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons depending on where all you're going to apply. If you're going to apply on your hands and neck, acts as a great exfoliator. So you take the desired amount, and then I'm going to take 1 pinch of turmeric. So 1 pinch of turmeric and oatmeal, and I'm going to just mix it well. So what it's doing is that it's actually cleaning, acting as a cleanser, and then it's also exfoliating your skin, your dead cells, so that you get a proper healthy skin. And then 1 tablespoon of Manuka honey. And Manuka honey is much thicker than the normal honey. you can definitely go with normal honey, and Manuka honey is also really good because it is thick. And if you don't get hold of Manuka honey, you can definitely try local honey. Especially in the villages, they do sell local honey. And now I have made a nice paste. And if you have powdered the oatmeal, then you'll get a very nice paste and a smooth creamy texture form. But this is, I haven't made a paste out of it, so it'll act as a nice exfoliant. I can just apply it throughout my skin and then just rub it off. You'll see the difference, and you'll see that your skin has really, the dead cells have come off. The main thing, this will not hamper the sensitive skin people because it is really soft and supple, and it's chemical free. First thing first, home remedies, chemical free, and beauty segments. So many things at just one go, you know, at one platform. So everything in one platform, just apply this every day. It's available in your kitchen and you can get hold of it. Morning breakfast, oatmeal, add some honey to it, apply it to your face and go have a shower. So easy. So do try this, and I hope you liked what I've said today. Do write to us, and until then, stay stylish, stay healthy.
Alright, so with this we have come to the end of the show. We hope that we were able to answer all your queries in the best possible way. In our next episode, we will be discussing on some other important health issues. So if you have any queries, please do let us know by emailing us at goodlifeanylife@gmail.com. Stay healthy, stay fit, and keep watching Northeast Live. Goodbye.